Welcome to the Forever Cash Life Real Estate Investing Podcast with your hosts, Jack and Michelle Bosch. Together, let's uncover the secrets to building true wealth through real estate and living a purpose-driven life.
How is everyone doing? This is Jack Bosch speaking, and welcome to another episode of the Winning Wednesday today. Also covering again, perhaps as part of a podcast. In today's session, I'm going to give you, let's dive deep into the IRS subject of dealer status. How about that? So I'm going to share with you the biggest loophole in real estate that you as a land flipper can take advantage of. How's that, right? Is that cool? That is fantastic. I hope you enjoy that. So here's what we're going to do right now. We're going to talk about the concept of a dealer status. So what is a dealer status? And by the way, if you have not yet registered, make sure you register for our upcoming 3-day or 2.5-day live virtual workshop, or live virtual land profit live workshop. It's under the website of landflippinglive.com. Okay, landflippinglive.com. You can register for just $97. And yes, if you're listening to this or watch this on YouTube or on a podcast episode, then you can still go to landflippinglive.com and register for this event coming up February 19th to the 21st. If you're missing this, if you're listening to it afterwards, then make sure you register. You still go there, because whatever next event we have coming up after that you will be forwarded to that too. So with that said, guys, let's get going. So let me see here in Facebook where I'm doing this session. Are you guys hearing me? So hi there. Is there anyone there? Put in some comments in there to let me see. So let me see that you guys are here. So what is a dealer status? So dealer status is a concept by the IRS, right? It's a concept by the IRS where they basically say that if you flip a lot of really anything for that matter, then you're considered a dealer. And as a dealer, so not a drug dealer or nothing bad, it's just a dealer. A dealer deals, right? The dealer doesn't buy and holds and invest. A dealer deals. And if you're a dealer, hey Dan, good to see you. Glad you can hear me. A dealer deals, and when you're classified by the IRS as a dealer, then what that means is that the way you have to pay taxes is slightly different. And the way you have to pay taxes is the following way. Right, is the following way. The way you pay taxes is such that you go and instead of paying taxes as the money comes in, you pay taxes on your full profit right at the point of sale. So let's look at it. You guys know we're doing seller financing deals and cash sales. So if you buy a property for $10,000 and you sell it for $30,000, you make a $20,000 profit. It's not a problem to pay taxes on the $20,000 profits. Obviously, after first subtracting your normal and usual business expenses, like your car expenses, your whatever food or whatever you can write off. I'm not a CPA, nor do I pretend to be one, right? And travel expenses and all those kind of things and your mailing expenses and your technology expenses and all this kind of stuff. So then on whatever's left over, you pay your taxes. But it's not a problem to pay those taxes because you got the cash in the bank, right? So if you made a $20,000 profit in cash and now the IRS wants $6,000 in taxes, well, then you pay $6,000 and you still have $14,000 in the bank, right? Okay, easy. And of course, you can offset that with other investments. So if you've done 40 deals like that, you have $400,000 in the bank. You invest $400,000 into a real estate investment that gives you a $400,000 depreciation or tax benefit. Then all of a sudden, your $400,000 income and your $400,000 tax benefits wash each other off and cancel each other out, and you don't pay any taxes on it, right? So that's why it's always smart to use land flipping as your cash machine, right? That's how we express in our wealth philosophy. Land flipping is the best cash machine in the world, and then turn that money over into other assets that have tax benefits that you can, with that, offset some of the taxes that you would have to pay from land flipping. So with that said, let's look at the other side. But still, it's assume you have none of that. You buy it for 10, you sell it for 30, make $20,000. The IRS wants $6,000. You pay the $6,000. You still have $14,000 in the bank. Anyone good with that? I think that's good, right? So now what happens with seller financing? Let's do this. Let's do an example. You buy a property for $3,000. You sell it for $30,000, and you get a $3,000 down payment, and you made how much profit? Well, really none, right? Because you just got all your money back. You paid $3 for it. You got $3 back. You have no money. You have no profit. You have not made a profit yet. But on paper, you made the $27,000 profit. Now, if the IRS now wants 30% of that or 33% of that, then you might have to pay the IRS says like, hey, you're a dealer. It doesn't matter if you collected the money or not. If you are a dealer, you need to pay your taxes on the $27,000 profit. Again, you bought it for $3, sold it for $30, got a $3,000 down payment, and now it's seller financing for the next 10 years at $300 a month for that money. Now, if you did that deal in end of December of 2020, let's say, the IRS now in 2021, if you're classified as a dealer, the IRS now is going to come and say, the IRS is going to come and say like, right, you made a $27,000 profit, please give me $9,000. And you're like, crap, I don't have $9,000 because I just gotten my $3,000 back. Now you might have $9,000 one time, but what if you do 50 of those deals, identical deals? And now it's not $9,000, it's 9 times 50, which is $450,000. Now the IRS says, well, you made 1 point something million dollars in profits. You got to owe us $450,000. You don't have $450,000 in cash sitting around. So in essence, you are screwed, right? You're screwed. You're basically bankrupt. Well, guess how I know that? Because that's what had happened to us when we got started. In our very first year, we did 63 deals. And of those 63 deals, we probably did something like 30 deals with seller financing. And with 30 deals, we made something like $450,000 in paper profits and notes that we generated. And by doing 63 deals, you are classified as a dealer. I don't know what the threshold is for the IRS. Again, I'm not a CPA, nor an attorney, nor do I play one on television. So I don't know where the threshold is. You got to check with your CPA on that to do if there's such a number. But if you're classified, we definitely were classified as dealers because we've done 63 deals. Based on that, now there's 500. But hold on, Demary, there's good news here. Look at the headline of the session today. It talks about the biggest legal loophole that benefits you guys. So I'm just telling out the horror story right now, and I'm going to bring you to the happy ending in just a moment, right? So stay with me here, okay? Stay with me here. So now we did the same thing. We sold about $450,000 worth of. We had note profits. We created notes like where the people owed us still, like the amount of the balance owed was $450,000, and pretty much all of that was profit. Because on every deal that we sold, we bought a property for $2,000, sold for $20,000. We got a $2,000 down payment, so we got our money back. Now there's $18,000 with profit. A deal we sold for $40,000 that we had put on a contract for $6,000. We got a $6,000 down payment. It was all profit. Or we got a $10,000 down payment. The $30,000 were all profit. But what we didn't, so it was all profit. So of the $450,000, the IRS basically would have said, hey, you pay a 33% income tax, let's say, you owe us $150,000. And we didn't have $150,000 cash in the bank. Because what had happened in the time period is, of course, was our first year. We had paid off student debt. We had paid off credit card debt. We paid off one of our cars, right? We put a little bit cash on the sideline, but not $150,000, right? We didn't have that. We paid over $100,000 in other debts off. So, and then put like $60,000 on the sideline and then reinvested some of the other money in more deals that we actually bought. So we had deals under contract, we had deals that we owned, we had deals that we're selling, but we didn't have $150,000 just sitting around cash in our very first year, guys. Remember? Shortly, then afterwards, you have much more money sitting around. So we almost freaked out when we went to a CPA and he told us, you might have a problem here because as a dealer, you owe the taxes on the paper profits, whether you have collected them or not. But then our CPA went digging. He went digging. He's a fantastic CPA. If you're interested in that, his website is, I'm going to put it in here, is TACPAs. So TACPAs.com. T as in Tom, A as in Anton, and then CPAs.com. So if you go there, tell them Jack Bosch said hi. And if you're doing deals, if you have any business from like land flipping business or all the way up to 10 or $15 million, that's kind of what they specialize on. Tell them Jack said hello. I don't get anything paid from him. I'm just forever grateful for him for having found this loophole, and he's still our CPA to this day. When he came back a week ago and he says like, Jack, I got some good news here. And I got some good news. And he's like, what is that? Well, let me tell you, that was a week that I slept not very well, guys. That I slept not very well. And what he said was, hey, I found a loophole in the tax code. And the loophole basically says, and that's, I'm paraphrasing, I'm not an attorney, don't take my word for it, just you need to look it up yourself, and I give you the code number in just a moment, and we'll also put it into the show notes. And that is, he basically said there's a loophole deep in the IRS tax code that some home builders put in the 1980s when there was a big crash, and they were sitting on a bunch of land and they wanted to sell it with seller financing, but they don't want to bleed. They didn't want to bleed on income taxes on that thing. So they've got Congress to put it in there, and it's like a line item far deep in some obscure section of the IRS code. And it basically says, layman's terms, don't hold me to it, have your CPA check on it. If you buy a piece of land and you don't materially change it, so you don't split it, you don't develop it, you don't add a whole bunch of stuff to it, which is exactly what we don't do, right? We just take a piece of land, we don't even buy it for most cases, or we don't buy it for a long time, we do double closings assignments, and you flip it and you sell it to somebody else, and that is not like a big commercial company, but just a regular person, then, and you do seller financing, then you're exempt from the dealer status. That describes our business, guys. So in other words, when we buy properties for $5,000, then we turn around and sell them to somebody who wants to build their retirement home on there or something like that. And by doing that, we're selling with seller financing. By definition, we are exempt from the dealer status. So what that means is if you take that property, like take the $30,000 property that you buy for $3,000 and you sell for $30,000 with a $3,000 down payment. If you do that in December of last year and you have a $27,000 paper profit, but you haven't collected really anything on it, you don't pay any taxes in that year on it, or barely any, right? Ideally, like if you look at it, since you sold it for 10 times what you bought it for, your margin is 90%. So in every payment that you receive, 90% of that is really profit. So therefore, you do pay a little bit taxes, but of the $3,000 that you received, they consider $2,700 of that being profit. So you pay now $900 in profit, and you can do that, right? Or if you buy a property for $4,000, sell it for $40,000 with a $6,000 down payment, you have a $34,000 payment. Now they're gonna say like, well, guess what? $34,000 is like, of $6,000, it's like, I don't know, 8 times or 6 or 8 times as much. So when you only pay taxes on the $6,000 that you bought, of that $4,000 is profit. So you pay like $1,200 in taxes. So you only pay taxes as the money comes in. Is that good or what? Put some heck yeses into the chat box here right now. If you're listening to this live, if you're watching this as a podcast or in YouTube, go into the comments and then also leave me some comments on here. That is absolutely a game changer. So that means that now instead of owing $150,000, we owed something like $5,000 or $10,000 because we had only received so much of the money, and then only as the money. So in the next year, let's say you received $3,000 in payments. Or $3,000 in payments, and all of these $3,000 or $3,600 in payments because you receive $300 a month. So after a year, it's $3,600. So of the $3,600, $600 might be towards the principal pay down. $3,000 might be in taxes, so you pay $1,000 of the $3,000, and actually in reality you pay less because of that. You still subtract the normal business expenses, right? That you run against your deductions and your expenses and so on. So that at the end of the day, you collect the $3,600 and you pay like $400 in taxes. That's a beautiful thing. Now, would you like to know what that comment is? Yes, here it is. It is code section, IRS code section 1237A and code section 453 L2, right? So it's code section 1237A and code section 453L2. If you give that to your CPA, right? And for those watching this live here in our Land Profit Generator Facebook group, please, if you're not, join us in the Land Profit Generator Facebook group. Join us here. This is where the land flippers hang out. This is where the $1 million land flippers hang out. This is the premier place for all land flippers around the United States to hang out and help each other and support each other and so on. So come to Facebook and search for Land Profit Generator Real Estate Investing Group, and you'll be excited in that. But right there, you see our Winning Wednesday session. And right there, I put it in there for you guys. I put actually the section in there. So you can take that down. And what I would recommend that if you use a CPA, any other CPA than your TA CPAs, then what you want to do is you want to go and copy that down and give that to your CPA. Because I have talked to the best CPAs in the entire world, and they did not believe me until I showed them that code section. And with that, they started believing me, and they started understanding that this is in reality true, and that this is what really happens here. So with that, guys, that's what I wanted to cover today. It's going to be a short session. I hope if you have questions about that, again, put them below here, put them into the comments, reach out to us, come over to, and then make sure you register for a live event on February 19th to the 21st. Stuff like this is exactly what we're going to cover in there. Stuff like that we're going to talk about. We're going to help you understand the different pieces on it, and we're going to have a fantastic time. All right? With that said, bye-bye, everyone.
Enjoyed this episode? Then make sure you like, subscribe, and post your comments and questions below the video. We're looking forward to hearing from you.